Okay, so let's do the rest of this roof. Let's put a UV map on it for a minute. Let's go to let's unwrap it. So you can see our edges all the way around. So what I'm going to do is make edges, additional edges. Let's select them like this. Create the blue ones. Convert edge to seam like that, and we're just going to unpeel that. Should be fairly okay. So what is it? Okay, so that's the roof. Okay, so we need to split the sides there. So let's do that again. Let's just split the corners here. Quick peel, and there we go, that's better. So we now just rotate this, which is the hole inside. In fact, I'm going to shrink that down to nothing, hardly. Just rotate it. What we're going to do is just going to put this up in the corner and just leave it up there, and we'll just put some texture on it so that it's got something on it. These are my ends, which are all pretty cool. That's fine. Pretty narrow, but that's what they are. Let's just straighten them up a bit. Okay. So that can rotate actually. That's a waste otherwise. We'll just park this one right inside it. Like that for now. Okay, so that's the base done, and now we're going to unwrap this piece here. So I'll collapse that. Select this object here. Okay, let's go back into our material editor first and just go to our second material, make it standard, change the color so we can see we've got something on there. It's going to be a word, so let's just make it sort of dark brown. There we go, just so we can see. Yeah, and you can see the top. It's still got that idea on it, so we can easily change that. So we just select it all, come down here and put in 2 in there. There you go, that's fixed it. Okay, so now we just need to unwrap this piece here, so we just do an unwrap on it. Okay, so it's got all the edges there because it's box mapped. If we go straight to here, yes, because it's a box, it's retained all the edges. It should just unpeel quite easily. There you go. And all the edges are correct. Right. So we just straighten these up. Sit. Like that, which is cool. Okay, so that's quite a big texture piece. And what I might do actually is tile along there as well. Switch on your checkered pattern like that. Let's put an edit poly on the stack. Select that face and that face. We'll put a 1024 on here as well. UV map, normal align it, if we fit it along there, and I think we did 3 up there, so we need to do 3 again, 3 here, 3, and we need to do, so if that's 1024, I'd say that's probably 512, so we need to do about, I'd say 0.4 like that on that one. So collapse that. Okay, so let's unwrap this now, and you'll see it's stretched out of the UV space. You should do. Yeah, because we've tiled it. So what's effectively going to happen? This box here represents our image. This image is going to be tiled along. Let me just turn on our checker pattern. So you can see the checker patterns repeating along. So for every, whatever we've set it to, 3, I think it was, so 3 times the checker pattern's going to go along this strip here, and the same on the top, because that's what we've told it. Now I'm just wondering whether we should, yeah, it's too high, you can see it slightly, so we can scale that down a little bit, and I might, let's just scale this down a little bit. That needs to go up. Okay, just to make it square, there we go. So we've also got to fit that beam on there in this space. Okay, we have to move these out of the way first because they won't let me select them. So just move these up out of the way and just move that back into position. Okay, so that's going to be tiled across there. When we stick our texture on it, it's going to go all the way along, which will be fine because you're not going to see it that much. So the only thing I'm a bit concerned about is the shadow maps. Not quite sure how it's going to react when we bake our shadow maps in Unity, whether Unity will use a second layer of UVs or whether it will complain about the tiling. So we'll find that out soon enough. Some engines like it, some of them don't. So some engines can cope with it and some can't. So we'll see what happens. Okay, so we've now got this, this and this. Let's attach these back together, the ones that we have done. Just collapse the stack again. Okay, so I've just attached the sides back to this piece of wood again, so we can just keep an eye on our UV space here. Because this top half has got to be shared with these bits of wood here. And the beam, I've got to do the beam now. We've just got to do the beam, and then we're going to repeat the beam across, and then we're done. Okay, so seems to be the right sort of scale as that. Okay, so let's unwrap that beam. Select it. Stick a UV on it. In fact, let's just have a look. Undo that. See, yeah, okay, so it's still got all its edges, so we can keep it like that and go straight for a peel like this, and it should. There we go. So it's got them all. We need to shrink it down a little bit just so we can get them into the space up here. There we go. Let's just rotate. Rotate that. Move it into position. Like so. all a bit fiddly. This is why, you know, UV mapping wasn't very popular back in the day. It was fiddly. That's the problem with it. And there's the two ends, which can just sit in the corner somewhere. You know, it's not very rewarding because, you know, you lay it all UVs. You start with a mesh like this, and then you end up with a mesh like this. You can't really see it because it's a technical sort of procedure that you have to go through. So it's, you know, it's not that rewarding until you actually start putting on your textures. Anyway, that needs to be ID 2, so let's just make sure it is. Set ID to 2, and press return. So it's all wood like that. Perfect. Okay, so let's attach this back onto there so we can then just organize our UVs in the space. So attach onto there. Not to the top yet. Let's just unwrap what we've got there. Just select all the faces, not the top. That's right. Click on unwrap. Click on open UV editor. There we go. So now we can organize these a bit better. Scale them up where we need to. In fact, these need rotating around. So let's do that. And we can maybe use this space for some other things because it is a bit of a waste. We'll see how we get on. So just remember, we've got nice big spaces in here which we could use for bits of wood here and there perhaps. It's just all going to be wood. Okay, so that's our roof done pretty much. So collapse that, collapse the stack. Let's attach those two back together. Let's attach the roof back onto the wood. I want to weld those verts back into place, just as I know that they're attached. Again, weld settings. You gotta be careful you don't get this. Yeah, that's 1.0. Let's make sure that's should be plenty. Click tick. Okay, there we go. So that's our roof done. Let's just make sure we rename that back because now we've joined it all back together again. It's got a funny name. HD hut roof, like that. We unhide all. Yeah. So that's all. We've got to replace these beams. Okay, we can do that. After we've textured it, we'll do that, but we'll just leave them there so they're in place for now. Because what we don't want to do is UV every single one. It's pointless. We just do one and then we copy it along, and then that will be done. So okay, let's go to our layer editor here, layer explorer. And we put our, we're going to put beams in UV'd because, not that the UV, but we're going to delete them eventually. And we're going to put our HD hut roof into UV'd too. There we go. So next one, let's have a look. Might do the walls. Tell you what, let's tackle these. Let's tackle the porch. Then we'll do these, then we'll do the steps. So let's get the outside bits done. So we'll do these next. Yeah, so I'll see you in the next lecture.